Well, good evening and welcome again to RRC's racing coverage of tonight's FNR Bronze event. I'm Scrappy Doo and I'll be taking you through the qualifying and the race for tonight's Italian Grand Prix. Now, it is going to be a fun one tonight. WNR did Italy this week. Two fantastic races and 25%. We've got a 50% up for you tonight. The one thing that stands between us and that is the qualifying session. That's coming up very, very soon. Anyone that knows the channel knows we do like to go into a little bit depth of last week of some of the other cars on the championship and just talk you through it, just to burn the appetite, shall we say. So going back through last week's stats and standings now, big shock. The Gavlar lead is still intact. We all knew that coming into Italy. But again, he just wasn't on form. So when is this going to be his week where he performs? That's what we're waiting to find out. Red Bull still do lead the Drivers' Championship. Mainly because, of course, they are 1 and 4 in the championship. A proper Red Bull sandwich with McLaren meat in the middle of it. As we'll go on, we're getting invites already to jump into the lobby. It's only be a few minutes away. So yeah, going back onto this Red Bull with McLaren meat sandwich. It's Italy where everything is going to hot up. Saw it in WNR and we're seeing it again tonight. RDW. Fantastic race from him last week. That's the reason we're watching a Mercedes at the start of the show. And again, congratulations to the new boy. This whole RRC Racing League this week has been dominated by new boys. And it's the new guys that are cleaning up. So can RDW, he can't win the championship of course, but can he stroke that Mercedes to anywhere near the top spot tonight? Just to get as maximum points for him and for the Mercedes-Benz team. We get to find out, of course, Charlie in Japan, his second race for the team. Let's hope we can see he can bring his results back for the team. Looking back through, so let's go step by step as we normally do. We've got a couple of minutes to go. So Gavlar, 50 points ahead now. Somehow still managing to pull a gap in the Drivers' Championship. Christian still plugging it down in second. He put it on pole last week, but he just couldn't keep it. Now this is the place, Christian's quick here. Now this is the place, he needs to pull it out and basically push that car to the front row. But we need to see that McLaren on the front row who are going to be dominating and getting into this race. Gavlar, good here. Didn't do too well in the Wednesday night event, but he's going to be obviously practicing WNR. So obviously we'll see what we can do, and I need to make sure I'm in spectator mode. Okay, so obviously talking through, so we've got as far as Toon. Good recovery drive from Toon fan, we must say, coming back there. Qualifying hasn't been his forte this year, but he is going to be all excited about making it up towards the latter part of the year. Durant, 4th in the current championship standings. He again is going to be a driver needing to improve in the later stage of the year to push. He's capable, he's more than capable of getting podiums and getting wins. He's one of these drivers in the middle of the pack. You just don't see him for a couple of hours and he comes out and attacks. Again, full of expertise, Durant, but he just needs a bit more consistency in the results. Poppy, P5 in the Toro Rosso. Or the Alpha Tauri, I should say. Again, this mid-pack, it's pretty much you've got a race for the championship and then you've got a race for the midfield as well, which Puppy is in. Super Steve, he's maturing all the time, he's getting better as a driver, and that's coming out there. He's having his own personal battle with Jack Blum, he seems to be racing with him on here. Now, Super Steve, very quick in here. We saw that on Wednesday. Now, are we going to see that again? Of course, so similar cars, obviously, from the Wednesday night event, just so happened to be in Italy. It wasn't actually the F1 calendar we have this week, but obviously we'll find out from there. Jack Bum, again, is consistent for points, and that's what you've got to get in this league, is consistency, is the points. You've got to get the results. So hopefully, fingers crossed, obviously, for Jack as well, that he can get some more points for his Renault team. His Renault teammate is behind him in the form of Devil's Nightmare in P8. Let's play on my headset quickly. Apologies for that, just playing on my headset, just trying to get the maximum out of these headsets. So Colour White, unfortunately, not joining us tonight in the Ferrari. Again, just consistency. So in this third midfield pack we've got of drivers, they just need to be more consistent. Poppy Jr. down there, this guy's maturing all the time, getting a lot of flack at the start of the year, and hopefully we're going to see him get some crucial results for the team going forward. Taylor McKenzie, relatively new boy to the league, missed a couple of races, had a couple of DNFs. Just again, consistency, and Clayton the same. So what needs to happen today? Clayton needs to get some points. 100% sure of his race, and I didn't see his name down there. He needs to maximise on that. So we're going live to the track. Green light. Track is open. Now, who are we going to see be the first guy out there? RZ Wee, of course, looking after his fantastic win from last year. From last week, I should say, last year. It did feel like a year ago. Right, let me just get everything sorted as we ride with Jack Blum, and he's the first guy out. Now, if anything is to go by the Wednesday night event, it's all about the soft tyre here. But you don't want to burn all 3 tyres out, so you have got the option to be able to run all 3 in this session and make it back in again, so you are able to do that. But do the drivers want to do that? You can see now Jack's warming his tyres up as he comes down out the first chicane. That Renault looks very, very nice since the updates, you have to say. And, oh, you don't want to set off the green stuff, Jack, and onto the black stuff, mate. It's probably the best bit of advice he'll get all day as he comes down to the Ascari chicane. A lot of curve. That is where the guys are going to take make-up most of the time today, is an Ascari. Okay, so Tristan out as well onto the track. In his McLaren, he's going to be trying to warm those tyres up. He always goes on about tyres. So a quick fit for him out, and he goes on about tyres. So we're going back to Jack Blum as there's a third car now of Super Steve out. And I said that a fourth car as well in the form of Charlie in Japan. So we'll stay with Jack, who's the first car out there, just to kind of see what his lines are in the Taquado, the last portion of the lap. Of course, Formula 1 going to Italy again this week in the form of Imola, making F1 history. Love the circuit. It's good to see F1 back there. Nice line from Jack. Watch him just come out the last corner, out of the parabolica. Maximum speed. It's going to be DRS completely wide open, using all of the available track down here as he runs down. There's now a car in front of him. Hopefully that AlphaTauri does get out of the way. He does. They break and put for turn 1. That was pretty much perfect for me. And there's a yellow flag out there. That is Durant. He's taking no further action in this race. That is in this qualifying session. That is going to be an accident. Unfortunately, it was RDW last week, and it's Durant this week. So he's going to be starting from 10th. That is the first confirmation of that. We're looking at racing lines just to see what Poppy can do. Or Jack Blum, I should say, can do. He's got that Alpha Tory behind him. I was looking at AlphaTauri's website this week, and it's €180 if you want a white shirt. So instantly taken. I would not be buying anything from them for €180 for the same shirt. You can buy anywhere else for what, even a third of the price. Yellow flag, just going to be all down for the. As you can see, Jack Lee resting with the car. They want big setups, these guys. It's going to be set up surely for getting the car stuck to the road, and that's a pure example. So is Jack going for the conservative setup in the 4th range, or is he going to push the boat out and go for 5th? His EOS running out towards the end of the lap. So Jack, he's had his lap disqualified, unfortunately. We'll follow Tristan's lap. He's coming down to the last corner parabolica, staying away from that green curb. Now, is he going to be able to put a lap time down? He does. Tristan goes fast. It's a 1:21.237. It's provisional pole position. We'll go back to Super Steve. He's into the sector 3 now to see exactly what Super Steve can rustle up. And Super Steve had his lap deleted. So this is the problem with Monza. You're going to get your laps deleted, unfortunately. Charlie in Japan, he's going to be on a hot lap now. At the moment, as you can see, the McLaren there of the Toon fan. Can anyone actually finish a lap without it being disqualified? That looks like it's going to be a warm-up lap for Toon fan. Now, going very, very wide at Parabolica area, it's possible here to do 2 flying laps. You can see Charlie Japan's lap. 1:21.252, so that's 2 thousandths off. So, very, very good lap there from Charlie. Jack Blum goes fastest. He finally puts a lap down. You can do 2 laps on those tyres. A 1:26.28. That's just over a tenth of a second faster. And Puppy even faster. While I was watching, I hadn't realised Puppy's just gone and put a stalker in there. A 1:26.28. They're in the 1:20s. Was there draft involved with that? We really don't know. Super Steve needing to put a lap time down. RD Wee putting a lap time down. He's not going to be fast enough. 2 minutes and 1 second. That's well off the pace from him. So surely he's going to be going again. That's join RD Wee. Now, when is he going to break for the Ascari chicane? 100 metre board, just after. This is where all your time is going to be won and lost, is in this corner. Needs to put a fast lap down there. Toon still hasn't put a lap down. As not Super Steve, as not Puppy. Durant, of course, taking no further part in qualifying. Seems to have crashed out of it, and that's the reason why. So, unfortunate for him, he will start from the back. More yellow flags in sector 2. Puppy Jr. goes fastest with a lap of 1:20.255. That's 2 tenths quicker than Jack. He's still on provisional pole position, we should say. RGW come down the last corner. He's deciding to come in. He's not happy with the balance of the car. He doesn't want to be taking the pit lane that fast in the race, because surely that will be a penalty for him. So currently Puppy's still standing fastest. 11 minutes to go in the session. By, what's that, 5 tenths of a second. So a big gap. Devil's Nightmare goes second fastest out there. Puts that lap in. That is 3 tenths off Puppy's Junior's time. So good, but not good enough. Currently the lead at Renault, and the Renaults have definitely got some pace around Monza. They're currently second and third. Now these guys going again. Of course, Tristan winning in the Wednesday night event here. Has he got it to take an FNR victory as well? Of course, no Gavlar this week. So the guy is able to maximise on the amount of points, and Tristan wanting to get as many points as humanly possible this week. DRS surprisingly not open on the McLaren as he runs down the back stretch and goes underneath the old Monza banking. The marshals are having a field day with their flags out there. You think it really was flag day? Now that is not how you're going to be taking the last apex of the corner, just completely getting off the throttle there. And more yellow flags, it looks like. Oh, they're now going green in sector 3. Is he now going to hit the gas? Is he? It looks like he's stopping on track. Maybe someone gets Tristan the fuel card, perhaps, so he can put some more gas in the car. Because that McLaren's definitely going slow. There's a lot of temperature in the tyres. Now he wants to pin it. Very odd to see him do that. Here we go. So this is going to be the fast lap. The DRS completely open on the McLaren. Target time's on at 20.255. He's got a lot to do. He's currently, a second off pole of Puppy Jr. Now Puppy Jr. did not have the best Wednesday. So he's now obviously had a couple of days to reflect, some more practice. Is he going to be able to raise his game and keep his Alpha, or its Alpha Touring, on the front row, or starting from pole position? Gets an exit there from Tristan. Puppy is 4th currently. He's got to improve by a 10th to get Puppy, to be a second to get on pole position. And 3/4 of a second to make it onto the front row. Currently. So guys that are currently still out, we've got Puppy, Tristan, Charlie in Japan, and RDW currently still out there. RDW is going to be the next guy we go on to, just to give it a ride and on board with and just see what he can do. We know he's got another pace, of course, winning last week at Spa, a dominant victory, being able to stay out there and make those tyres work for him. That's what won in the race. You can see Tristan coming into the Parabolica, just touching that green curb. What can he do? Where does he go? It goes second fastest, 1 minute 20.500. Big improvement for them. Still 3/10 to be able to make up on Puppy Junior. So that's, as promised, go back to RDW and just see what he's got. Now, of course, this circuit, you've got to be so careful with the curbs. It's like your favourite art. If you kiss them too much, they're going to bite you. Just to say as a reference. Just watching RDW just bounce over the curbs there. Let's have a look what you can do in Parabolica last corner. There's the exit here, that's what makes the men from the boys. And RDW goes full fastest, 1 minute 20.697. So, in fact, the way be faster than that. You can do 2 laps here, of course. You are able to do 2 laps. I don't think RDW is going to go for a second. The ERS, or sorry, the DRS wasn't open at the bottom of the straight, so I don't think he will be going for it. He does look like he's pushing for it though. What can RDW do? Of course, winning last week's race, putting it in the wall in qualifying, so really this is his first qualifying session of FNR. But of course then it's the surprises. Last week was all about the surprise drivers, of course. RDW being the big surprise in FNR. First race for Mercedes, first race in the league. Disappointing in qualifying, and then he goes and wins the race. Of course you have to say that Gavlar and Toon were scrapping out there, which obviously was wasting their tyres and wasting their time, while RDW just went across and just absolutely just slaughtered the field. So well done for him. So RDW does go fastest. That second lap in the Mercedes is helping. It's a 1 minute 20.245. That's a 10th faster than Puppy Junior. Puppy's going to be pissed. But currently Puppy Junior sitting in the pit lane. He's been knocked down to second place. Devil's Nightmare trying to do something about it. He's currently full fastest. The lead of the Renaults. Let's hope, obviously, for Renault's sake, they have a good race. Nice to see the Renaults do well here. And the only guy that has yet to set a lap time is Super Steve. So the lap time is definitely coming down. We're in the mid-21s. We're down to 1 minute-20s as we're balling 5.5, just under 5.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Are they going to do 2 laps again? Devil's Nightmare looks like he's going for it on this warm-up lap of his. So is he going to improve on his time? Well, a 1 minute 20.555, he does by 2/10 of a second. It puts him third fastest. Of course he can do 2 laps. I wonder if his ERS will last the second lap. Hopefully for his sake it will. So he's just jumped them, basically, the 2 McLarens, pushing Tristan down to 4th and Toon down to 5th. It's hot enough at the top. And even look at that, the gap between RDW and Puppy is 1,000th of a second. I thought it was a 10th, it wasn't, it's 1,000th. Oh, and that is not going to help from Devils, he's not going to improve on that. Taking too much curb there in Sector 2. We ride with Toon Fan, he needs a big result this week. And he's not going to have one here, he's going back into the pits. whatever Toon's doing in this pit lane, I think we all want a pint of it, because he's spending more time in the pit lane, it looks like, than out on the track. Of course, the guys coming in, they're going to be able to get out again, as long as they should also have a set of tyres left. So Devil's Nightmare's not going to improve on this lap. Does he even finish the lap? He's got enough time to come in. He does come in. So he does have enough time to be able to come in and get tyres and wheels changed before he can set back out on his last run of the day. We're looking at 3.5 minutes. As you can see, one of the McLarens going out. That's going to be Tristan, surely, because Toon Fan has just come in. So Durant, of course, unfortunately having to watch from the sidelines this session, or the remainder of this session, and what a shame. Hopefully he will start from P10, but of course he's not going to have the experience of seeing what the track is like in qualifying to prepare himself for the race. So obviously good luck for Durant, and hope obviously he can pick it up in the race later. So with 3 minutes to go, we've got RD Wee currently still fastest by a tenth of a second from Puppy Jr. Third is Devil's Nightmare, he's a tenth back. So in fact a tenth of a second for the top 3 positions. Tristan behind in P4, Toon Fan 5th, Jack Blum 6th, is Puppy in 7th, Charlie in Japan 8th, and Super Steve currently 9th, who has not set a lap time. Durant is the only guy who unfortunately unable to set a lap time. He crashed in qualifying, and that means he will take no further part and will start from the back of the grid. Tristan on a warm-up lap. He's got Jack Blum for company out on track as well. So the ERS running out, Jack wanting to improve. 1 minute 27.75. Toon, weirdly enough, deciding he wants to go on the medium tyre. So we'll see exactly what he can do with this later. 1 minute and 45 seconds. So all the drivers want to be out on track now to see exactly what they can do. This is where it's going to hold up at Monza. Now, of course, the track layout, a lot of drivers do like, and of course jokingly saying that on Wednesday that everyone thinks they're a master around Monza, but this is obviously very, very close to the top 3. A lot of drivers like it here because, of course, how easy it is. A lot easier on the wheel, well, it's not as easy on the wheel, so I should say. If you're on a pad, it seems to be a bit nicer, shall we say. The wheel is crazy around here. It's one of the circuits that drivers really learn on. So even going back to days of Grand Prix 2, anyone old enough to remember the Grand Prix 2 games, this is the circuit you learn on Monza. It's a circuit you know at the back of your hand as a lead driver. We've got a minute to go. Now can Jack Blum improve on this? 1 minute 27.75. He doesn't look like he is now. He's coming into the pits. You've got Toon Fan, Tristan currently out on track. Puppy Jr. is going to want to improve. He will want to displace RD Wee, who looks happy with his lap. He's not going to be coming back out again. As is Devil's Nightmare, as is now Jack Blum. So those guys are going to be out of the session. We still have, 6 drivers out on track currently at the moment, trying to displace this lap from RD Wee, as the checker flag is about to come out. We're just seconds away from that. So the guys now, this will be their last laps to be able to complete. So Puppy Jr. and then Super Steve behind him. They're the first ones. Checker flag is out. This is the last lap. ERS off on Puppy Jr. What can he do? He can't do anything. He remains in second fastest. So it's only really now Tristan. Super Steve done for his time as well. Another lap deleted from him. Big shame. So the first driver that can do anything about this is going to be Tristan. Can he put it on the front row? Fantastic lap out there from RD Wee. And of course Puppy as well out there as well. So it's Puppy is the closest guy to the flag, so we'll ride with him for the time being. Moving on to Tristan shortly. He hasn't. Puppy has not got it. He's not on a lap. And neither has Tristan as well. So it's going to be pole position for RD Wee. It's his first pole position of the season. It's going to be Puppy Jr. joining on the front row. Devil's Nightmare third. Fantastic result for him and for Renault. Tristan will start this race in fourth place. We're riding with him. Toonfan fifth. Jack Blum sixth. Puppy will start down in seventh place. Charlie in Japan. Better qualifying from him in eighth. We've got Super Steve unable to set a lap. Those track limits obviously holding him back. And Durant, the only guy not able to set a time in qualifying. So very, very interesting there for qualifying. And the guy that I'm going to have my eye on is currently on pole position. So a very, very big well done to him. So confirmation by that 1,000th of a second for RD Wee. It's Puppy Jr. starting from P2 on the front row with him. Devil's Nightmare will start from third place. So, and then you got the two McLaren sandwiches. So Red Bull, this is the worst possible situation for Red Bull in the constructors. You've got no Gavlar this week. You've got Duran unable or crashing, unable to set a lap time. Will start 10th. This is not what they wanted, and McLaren are going to be swooping in. Of course, RDW cannot win the Drivers' Championship starting last week. He's too far behind, but he will be trying to make as many points as physically possible. And of course, the top five, starting from the soft tyre. The highest medium runner is going to be Toonfan, who starts on the alternative strategy. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they've got planned. It is a one-stop race here. And of course, from the Wednesday night race, we did see the cars go from soft to medium quite easily. That was a 25% race, so we're expecting more of the same. So Mono has joined us. That is, he will start from the back of the grid. So it's going to be another car we've got, so more points. So Mono, I'm sure if you can make this race, very, very warm welcome to Mono. And I hope obviously he's listening where he is. And just in time for the formation lap. So they're getting their strategies together, getting their brains worked out as they get ready here for the formation lap. So they're saying between 9 lap 12, so the soft to hard or soft to medium for a one stop. So we'll go through the grid again. So RD Wheat, fantastic qualifying from him. Just 1,000th up. So the new boy, what can the new boy do from pole position? Last week from the back he managed to come through and win the race, an alternative strategy, but he hasn't got that luxury of a new set of tyres this week. He's starting on his old ones, but he is going to be fiery. So you've got Puppy Jr. He's starting alongside him on the front row of the grid. Now this guy is known for fireworks, and this AlphaTauri, is he going to be able to go ahead by turn 1? Devil's Nightmare, he is the lead Renault today, so let's hope Renault for a good race. Doing very well, and of course 3 tenths behind off pole position. But what is his race strategy like? Durant normally the race, or the race normally better from him than qualifying. Tristan in P4. Not bad qualifying from him, better than the Wednesday night race. His race pace is definitely better, and he's got what it takes to win round here. Of course, winning the race on Wednesday night. Toonfan, disappointing from him. We normally see him a lot further up. He is, in fact, he's on this soft tyre. Thinking that he was actually on the mediums. So hopefully we're looking for a good race for him. Jack needs to get his head down, needs to get some points for the team. So hopefully he can do that today. Puppy, so he's not the lead puppy today. He's got his son out there faster than him on the front row of the grid. So hopefully we can see the sister AlphaTauri do well. Charlie in Japan is getting more experience, better lap time in him in qualifying. So what can he do in the race? Super Steve, he will start from 9th place. Unlucky for him not being able to put a lap time down. What can he do? Durant will start from 10th, right at the back, unable to put a lap time down. Now we look at the grids. At the Monza banking, 27 laps of the Italian Grand Prix coming up. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and the Italian Grand Prix is go now. They are getting away, and there's Devil's Nightmare making a break for first position. Is he going to be able to make it as they go down to turn 1? He does. He gets a cut over the chicane. A shame for him. Devil's Nightmare will not hold it. It's going to be RDW that takes the lead. He is. It looks like he had to get out of it there, the Renault, to not be disqualified. So it's RDW that currently leads from Puppy Jr. in second place. Tristan, fantastic start. He's up to third. Up, mate, that's second now as Tristan manages to go around the outside. Big problem there from Puppy on the opening lap. He's down in space, and Jack is going all the way through. Unlucky for Devil's Nightmare. Fantastic start from him. Much better off the line to lead the race. Just couldn't put it into the first corner. Shame. Jack currently holding third place. This is what we want to see him. Obviously, fight. Puppy is under fire again. He's got Super Steve behind him, who started from the back, so a fantastic start again from Super Steve. The big winners and losers in that. You've got Toon Fan, big loser, unfortunately, on the first lap. Devil's Nightmare, an awful start from him, and Puppy as well. So Charlie in Japan's got past him as well. Durant is up 4 places from 10th to 6th. And we can see him fighting there. Fight. Between Charlie in Japan and Durant. RDW currently leads, and you can see now Toon Fan trying to make his move. As he will do. Super Steve is not going to be quick enough down there. This is the good thing about Monza. You will get the sort of pace. Super Steve managing to hold these guys back. So RDW currently leading the Italian Grand Prix by 0.3 of a second. We're watching the battle here for what is 5th position. And you can see Durant, Toon, Super Steve and Charlie in Japan all fighting together. And this is, of course, the bug we were talking about this system does. So not too worried about that now. Let's go back and just see the battle for the lead. It's RDW leading this race. Tristan is 0.3 of a second behind him. Jack Blunt is currently in 3rd place. He's hanging on. We've got Devil's Nightmare and Toon Fan fighting, and Devils is off. This day gets from bad to worse for Devil's Nightmare. He is not going to be happy with this. And he's lost it again on cold tyres. And that is going to be the end of his front wing. If he's not careful, he does reset back to the track. He is going to be very annoyed inside that crash helmet. And he's taking more of the... What is he doing? He seems to be turning right into left-hand corners. And this looks like it might cause a safety car. He's given himself a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. Does he decide to put on this lap and go for the alternative strategy? Gap for the lead is up to 1.2 seconds. I'm just going to see what Devil's Nightmare does in the last corner. Is he actually going to come in? He is. He's coming in, and I reckon he's probably going to retire in the pits. That really wouldn't surprise me. Not the best day from him. He's going to be annoyed from this. So RD lead is pulling away now from Tristan. Jack Blum has got Tristan all for company. And that's confirmation Devil's Nightmare does retire in the pits. Very, very annoyed. And that's the reason why he is out. So no points for Devil's Nightmare. His sister teammate out there, his sister car, sorry, of Jack Blum is fighting for 3rd position. He's got Tristan in front of him. He's got Puppy Jr. behind him. And a nice little racing pack between these 3 cars. The DRS is going to be available on this lap. Jack wants to stay within a second. You can see Puppy Jr. making his move there for 3rd place. Jack may be out of ERS. That's the reason why he's not being able to do anything about it. He is in fact out of ERS. That's the reason why he couldn't do anything about his car there. So looking out there, we can see he will get the DRS though on Puppy Jr. And does he make the move? He is. That's really so close in here. They're going to touch. They don't just managing to get through. And Super Steve's lost it on the outside. And there's an AlphaTauri as well. Awful. It's Puppy Jr. Awful accident there for Puppy Jr. And Super Steve involved with that is pulls a virtual safety car. we've got the second retirement in the way of Puppy Jr. He is out, as Puppy will be hearing about that. He's in the pits as the virtual safety car is deployed. So of course now they've got a lap delta to these cars. It's a time to be able to save fuel, save ERS, and run to a specific delta. So it means that they'll have more running in the rich mode later on in this race. Of course, ERS, one of the things you've got to balance in a Formula E race. You can't go 100% every single lap. You've got to balance the engine, balance the fuel, and see what you can do in a 50% race. So we're back to green flag racing again, and we can see there Super Steve trying to fight. We have to look at it again because I think Super Steve may have had a maybe more fault of that. He seemed to spin himself. A subsequent spin involving Puppy Jr. So he is making a very early pit stop on lap 5. Unfortunately for him, it looks like his Monza week has not been fantastic. He was on for a podium at one point in the WNR race. He's now opting for another set of soft tyres, so he will have to stop again regardless. He knows that, but at least now he's got a chance to burn some rubber and actually get some lap time out there. So back to the battle for the lead. So RDW is pushing out there. The gap is 3.2 seconds to Tristan, who's currently 3 seconds now, I should say, to Tristan. So since that virtual safety car, Jack Blum in third, he's currently just moved away slightly. It's the fact that Charlie in Japan in fourth is now right on his back. It was Puppy Jr. on his back, and of course Puppy now out of the race. So better weekend here for Charlie in Japan, better day for him than last week. Maybe this Spa race was the day that he looks to get better and better in the sport. Now Jack's going to have to defend against this. That's what VRS has Jack got available to him. It looks like a decent amount, so he should be able to defend. And the problem is he's going to have DRS as well, and you've got Two Fan, the best seat in the house, trying to get closer. DRS completely open on Charlie in Japan's car. We're about to see a move into third position, and well defended there from Jack so far. He's going to have DRS himself, and that is not where Charlie in Japan wants to be. And Two Fan is like, thank you very much. I'll be taking that off you very swiftly. So Two Fan up to P4. We've got McLaren's second and fourth. It's a McLaren sandwich, and Jack Blum is the meat in the middle of that sandwich. Well, at the moment, Jack is driving a fantastic race out there, so hopefully more to this continue. Charlie in Japan is trying to get the place back off Two Fan. He will get DRS to help him out. Coming out with Della Rogers chicanes, that wasn't the thing that helped him. Touching, of course, the gravel there, and that's the thing that's unfortunately lost him a position. Now you can just see Two Fan getting closer and closer to the Renault ahead. Now Jack was able to defend on the last lap. He's not going to be able to this lap. He's not going to have the ERS or the DRS to help him out there, which he did have on the last lap. Gap for the lead is 4 seconds. Currently now watching Two Fan trying to make it into P3. He's a lot closer, and I think Jack's going to have to, as he try and block. Don't think he can. They're side by side. And Jack's going to have to concede that place. They were getting very close there. Jack has to concede the place. He goes down to 4th position. Hopefully he can retain that. And Charlie in Japan makes a move, and deciding that he wants some of the green stuff. Not sure how much grass there is in Japan, but there's plenty of grass in the side pod of that Mercedes-Benz, unfortunately. Super Steve does the fastest lap of the race, so currently on those brand new soft tyres, so that's going to be little consideration for him. He's down in P7 and struggling. He needs a safety car really to get out and really just catch the pack up. That's what he could do with Puppy. Puppy is exactly the same way down there. So he stopped. Devil's Nightmare has retired. So we've got out of 10 runners, we've got 2 retirements. We've got 8 runners out there. As you can see, RDW is preparing to lap the ghosted car, I do believe. Yep, it will be the ghost car. Apologies, trying to get some water break there. As now, lap 7. RDW is leading it. Gap is 4 seconds, and we can just see the new McLarens moving around there. That's the reason why Tristan is in very early on. Didn't see any damage. Is this going to be a scheduled stop? They're going for the mediums. Now that for me is looking very, very early. That's going to be 20 laps needed on those medium tyres to get to the end. The undercut is going to be effective around here. Team Fan does move up to P2. Jack Blum also deciding to come in for medium tyres. So these two are trying the undercut. Of course, you've got to try something new. Charlie in Japan is back from his adventures there for cutting the grass. So Tristan and Jack Blum have rolled the dice. Currently not from Tristan. Gap to the leader is 20 seconds. Actually, pardon me, no, it's more like 25 seconds. So if this gap does go down, it will go down slightly, of course. So RDW has done 8 laps on his tyres, plus of course the 3 or 4 laps in qualifying. So they're going to be towards the end of their cycle. So expect to see Tristan and Jack Blum do push this car. So the gap currently is still 25-26 seconds. That lap comes down to around about 20 seconds. Then or 24 seconds, we should be seeing RDW potentially coming in. Of course, the fear of the undercut. And you can see it is coming down. The gap is coming down dramatically here. So the tyres, Tristan is putting it to his advantage. Only a few tenths on that lap by the looks of things. RDW obviously very unaware of what the other drivers that have stopped are doing. He's going to obviously be seeing Toon Fan getting a bit closer to him. And I think you can see him, he's 4 seconds ahead. But he's obviously know exactly that it's Toon Fan behind him in the sister McLaren, and taking a lot of grass as well there. Maybe a bit of a souvenir. This is where Toon Fan comes alive. He's much better in the races. He hasn't done very well in the qualifying sessions this year. It's the race prowess that has made him the driver this year. And Toon Fan gets himself a 3-second penalty, and he's getting touching the wall. Nearly touching the wall for him. Durant would have seen the whole lot. He's up to P3. He hasn't stopped yet on what is a recovery drive for him, starting from the back. Toon Fan, I think maybe he decided when he go and see a different part of the track. Who knows? This lap he comes in, got to be careful about this limiter line, not to get yourself a penalty. It looks like he's got away with that. So where does he come out regarding his teammate? He's going to be behind his teammate Tristan, surely. And they are holding him, and it's a very slow stop. It looked like he will come out behind Tristan, surely, after this. And he hasn't. So yes, he has. Tristan does get him. Obviously that chip across the grass wouldn't have helped. Jack Blum does get back out. That just shows how good the undercut is. That extra lap they've done has put Tristan and Jack Blum ahead of their competitors. So the gap for the lead, so what's that? 18 laps, 18 seconds, 16. So we're looking at Duran. He's second position. So RDW is 8 seconds ahead of him. Tristan, the gap we're looking at between Tristan and Jack Blum, and Toon Fan, I should even say, for third, fourth and fifth there, another 17 seconds down the road. So we've got about 25 seconds of the gap between first and third, between the guys that have and haven't stopped. So RDW wants to be careful of his tyres. He's had a pretty commanding race so far. He does come in. So RDW has decided lap 10 is it. He should have enough time to get in and out comfortably. Durant gets himself a speeding penalty. That is not going to help Red Bull's day today. And he should be serving that in the pit lane. So RDW gets out comfortably in the lead. It's Durant that will go into third down now. 5th. Tristan retakes P2. The gap is down to 1.8 seconds, 1.7 seconds. So the undercut has definitely helped Tristan. Mr. Ware, he's got to push. Of course, RD Wee's tyres aren't going to be up to temperature. They're going to be 2 laps younger than Tristan's, or 3 laps younger than Tristan's tyres, but it's not going to be up to temperature. So this is where that Tristan needs to get this gap down. RD Wee is going to be loving this. Brand new tyres on his Mercedes. He's got his one stop done. They've all now stopped. As you can see there, they have all stopped. Super Steve is the guy that is going to have to stop again. So currently 6th in this race. He's not going to be able to get to the end on those set of tyres, and plus it's the same compound that he started his race with. As you can see now, RDV trying to take it very, very carefully into the last chicanes. He has got lap traffic ahead of him. Oh, and I did not see that invite of asking Mono to come, so apologies behind that for Mono. If I'd seen that earlier, I would have invited him. I haven't seen that, so now we are going to see what RDW can do. It is lap 12 out of 27. Just over half this race to go. We've seen RDW so far get out there, get in front. He's made his stop. Now he's got to make these tyres last. So the tyres should be good to go. Out of the lot of them, he has the youngest tyres out there. But can he just make this last? Tristan is trying to lap other cars as well now. That's better from Tristan getting out there. Get himself a free DRS boost off of the retired car of Devil's Nightmare. In third position you've got Jack Blum, and right behind him is Toon Fan, so Toon is going to be after a pass here. Jack doing fantastically well in P3. Toon Fan taking it very, very cautiously. He is going to get the DRS boost. He's got no ERS to attack with. And Jack is going to be watching that inside line. And Toon just goes right round the outside of him. Is he going to make it move? He does make it stick. Good move there from Toon Fan. He's up to P3. Jack blocked the inside. And the inside became the outside of the next corner, which Toon Fan has struck back. Now Toon Fan needs to get after his teammate Tristan, who is currently in P2, just over a second ahead of him, 6 seconds ahead. So he's going to be pushing his teammate all the way now for P2. So Jack falls down to P4. He's got quite a gap to Super Steve. So as we can see, Charlie in Japan having another adventure. Ooh, he wants to be careful with that. Damaged front wing on that car. So Jack and Toon getting themselves into more penalties and a broken front wing for Charlie in Japan. So it's the top 5 drivers that are together, or the top 6 all basically together. You've then got quite a gap from Puppy. Then you've got Charlie in Japan, who was riding a second ago. And more yellow flags. Just trying to have a look exactly what that was. Super Steve there has got Durant right behind him. So it looks like we're going to see a move down into turn 1. And Steve, oh, very, very close. Pulled under Super Steve, managing to defend that move from Durant there in the Red Bull. So trying to recover back from not the best drive from, certainly not the best weekend, I should say, the best week from Super Steve as far as Italy is concerned. I think he'll be waiting to see the back of Italy this weekend. More yellow flags on the track. Can't see what the reason was behind that. We do have, of course, some ghost cars out there. We'll go back to the battle we was watching earlier. It's a DNF, it's trying Japan out. So that is the third retirement. Charlie in Japan. We saw him spinning and having his own little adventures as contact there between Durant and Super Steve. Does he make the move? He couldn't make the move last. He's gone the wrong part of you, my friend. He went the wrong part of him. And so the fight between Jack Blum and Super Steve to continue. So the two McLarens have switched positions, or so they haven't switched positions yet. I should say Jack is still hunting down the McLarens. So far for me, driving the day, Jack Blum. He has driven a fantastic race so far. The strongest race I think I've seen him in quite a while. Jack Blum Anthony out there. He's been on podium places pretty much every single lap of this race. He's currently fighting with the two McLarens for second and third place. And it's a place like this where you really wish the podium did have another space. But for me, he has been absolutely superb today. Team Fan trying to get back. Disappointing qualifying from him. It's the race that's his strength. And of course Tristan is going to be feeling all that strength on the back of his neck now, as he's got his teammate right behind him with DRS. And is he going to block? He doesn't throw the block in just yet. All this is going to help Jack obviously catch the two McLarens. And not here. It's surely going to happen on the next straight. To see if Toon Fan will get DRS, and surely he'll be past his teammate into P2. Wide line there from Toon Fan. He's got penalties. He's going to have to get on the gas, so to speak. There's a tenth between them. And it does look like Toon Fan is going to be making it into P2. He does easily. Tristan there just trying to get some of the draft of his teammate. Not but fighting him too hard. He's going to be more worried about Jack Blum fighting him for that final podium position. So we just seen Toon Fan make a move into P2. He is 4.6 seconds behind our current race leader, who is RD Wheat. Haven't spoken about him too much today. He's been off in his own personal race. Started from pole position. First pole of his FNR career. And can he make it? Race win number 2. As you can see, the two McLarens fighting each other. It's Toon Fan for Tristan. It seemed like Toon Fan made a mistake in the middle sector, and that's put Tristan all over the back of him. He will get DRS assist off these back straights. Now, here is not where you want to be making a move, Tristan. And more grass there from two McLarens just making it out. So they've switched again. So Tristan does get ahead of him. So Tristan gets ahead of his team. I hadn't seen them move positions there. But of course now Toon Fan is going to be in that comfortable position again where he'll get ERS off the first straight. And Tristan will have to defend. Doesn't want to be that side of the old circuit. That is where you don't want to be. Toon Fan surely will get him easily here. He does. The two McLarens fighting. Tristan trying to get more DRS off his back as we go into the first chicane. Jack Blum happily sitting down there in 4th place, watching this battle for 2nd and 3rd between the two McLarens. It's the closest battle on track. There was a 10th between them on the last lap. There's not very much more than that now, so Tristan's got to wait his time. Toon, of course, had made mistakes here. That was not the best corner for Tristan. As he comes into one of the Lesmos. That's Lesmo 2. He's not as close to his teammate. The gear selection didn't look fantastic there as in the first chicane, in my opinion. It's definitely not what he'd been using in the first part of the race. That is definitely costing time, and you can just see the car sliding. So these tyres have got to do 11 more laps. Maybe it was an error for Tristan coming in so early. Lap 8 he came in. His tyres look screwed, if you ask me. Does he come in for soft tyres and make this a 2-stop, or is he going to hold on to this podium? The tyres From this angle look alright, but you can see Tristan sliding around there. Maybe just a diff sensor needed. Unable to capitalise on his teammates going down the main straight there for Tristan. He currently sits in P3 on the final podium slots. Jack Blum seems to have backed off a little bit on his pace off the two McLarens. He's got 2.7 seconds back on the two cars. Let's have a quick look at some of the messages, just to have a look over here. If I can see that people have been sending messages, so let me just have a quick look and just see if I can work that one out. Oddy Weasel still leading this race. And I will try and send Mono a message in here for the last 10 laps of the race to see if he is still online. So apologies if you can't see what is going on right now. Let's see if Mono will join us shortly. And he does join us. Mono, do you have a copy?
I already have one single copy, Mr. Scrooge.
You've got to love the enthusiasm there from Mono. Everybody, I must try and fix my headset out again, which is causing me issues.
Speaking of enthusiasm, what I see on the racing surface today is quite a bit from those McLaren drivers.
It's actually quite fitting, the Mono's choice of voice there, shall we say, especially this time of the year being Halloween. Very, very scary there from Mono. So, of course, the McLaren in. So we're looking Tristan. Up on him, the McLaren has come in for a set of soft tyres. I mean, pushes Toon back up to P2 quite comfortably. You've got RD Wee currently still leading this race. Toon Fan second. You've got Durant in third. Tristan we're waiting with is currently down in fourth. Jack Blum in fifth, and Super Steve down in sixth place, trying to capitalise from not the best week from him. So as we ride round Monza, Mono, talk us through it. As a driver, what are you looking at round here? Where's your braking points? How bold. It says that RDW has actually stopped. No, he hasn't, pardon me. So it's Toon Fan that stopped. RDW continues. His tyres roughly 2 or 3 tenths, or say 2 or 3 laps shorter than the chasing Pats. That's the reason why Durant is staying out. Can he make these tyres last? Durant, of course, had a speeding penalty in the first instance. RDW currently still leading this race. He's only made the one stop. We've got Tristan down there in P2. He's made 2 stops. He's come in twice. His tyres will comfortably make till the end of the race. And surely with the gap that RDW's got, you're going to have to put a pit just for safety reasons of the tyres. You've got that gap. Pit delta, roughly 22, 23 seconds. Fastest lap, yeah, he did wait 2 or 3 laps to pit, so his tyres have done, he does actually pit on lap 21 here. I think he must have heard us. He's got himself a penalty! He's got himself a penalty! Let's have a quick look. They have been scrapping it out here for 2nd, 3rd and 4th for the last 10 laps between Tristan Toonfan and Jack. Not now, indeed so. So RDW does manage to get out with about 5 seconds. Of course he hasn't served his 5-second penalty by the looks of things. So he still has that to be added onto his race time. So this is going to be focused from RDW. He's got, what, he's got lap 22 now. So he's got, what, 6 laps, sorry, to make up the lead. And can he win the Italian Grand Prix to make it 2 wins from 2? You've got Tristan trying to make that. The McLarens have been doing battle all night here. You can see Toonfan attacking at Tristan. The gap is currently 0.2 of a second. Toonfan is going to get into DRS range of his teammates, and he is. Veering completely open the McLaren. They do switch. Toonfan does make it up to P2. So, of course, now Tristan will get the advantage, of course, if he can stay with his teammate of having the DRS all the way down to the first chicane. And surely we should see that the 2nd place flip over again. Indeed, Toonfan just goes and puts himself in the fast lap of the race. A 1:21.974 as Tristan fighting his teammates. Backs out of it there. Now, of course, Mono wouldn't have seen, of course, the accident, unfortunately, which took out Puppy Jr. It seemed like Super Steve lost it into the first corner, spun his car, and Puppy's got into the side of him, so that's eliminated Puppy. Oh, and you can just see the gas being cut there from Toonfan. Devil's Nightmare wasn't happy with this race, so he has actually quit in the pits. So that car in P8 isn't there. And get maximum penalties for it as well. So that's hope. Well, let's hope that he doesn't heed to Mono's warnings there. So Super Steve getting himself a penalty. I don't think he's in the happiest day, and I think he can't wait to get his passport out and get the hell out of Italy this week. And it looks like it is. Tristan again not having it to be able to put a nail onto his teammate into turn 1. The gap for the lead is currently 4.5 seconds. Of course, RDW does have a 5-second penalty to serve Toonfan and Tristan with multiple penalties themselves. All the way down to Jack. So Jack's been in this race for me driver of the day so far. Nah, he's out. He's out, Mono. He's out. No, he in fact he went completely across the circuit a few times out of frustration, and then after spinning, he in fact was P1 on the first lap, but just couldn't break into the first corner and went straight on at turn 1. It's alright, it's opposite day, buddy, so don't worry about that. They are fighting, and that's not where you want to be, Super Steve. Boy, oh boy, he is not going to be happy about Italy this week at all. Completely out of ERS, he's got 3 laps to go. Well, let's hope that as well for the Alfa Romeo duo. Of course, he was leading a few weeks ago. Where was we? When he was leading, was it the British Grand Prix that these two Alphas? No, Austria. Sorry, that the two Alphas were leading. Liner stirred with 3 laps to go, and Super Steve unfortunately just couldn't make it to the flag. So, big shame. I remember you being in that race, Mono, as well. They are indeed. Of course, a white flag lap about to come out next lap. So Tristan potentially with a handful of opportunities to put one on his teammate, and this one surely is going to be it. No, Team Fan pushes him out. What? The two McLarens make contact. And you can see Toon, who's going to blink first as they come down to the Della Roggia. Toon Fan does hit the two McLaren's contact again, but it is wheel to wheel. It was wheel to wheel contact. Toon comes out stronger there. Incredibly close racing between these two drivers. They probably are. So the gap for the lead. So we're watching the battle for second place between Toon Fan and Christian. The gap for the lead. We're watching 5 seconds up the road is RDW about to start his white flag lap. His 27th and final lap of the Italian Grand Prix. Jack getting himself another penalty. Now, is Tristan going to be able to get anywhere near the back of his teammate for surely one of the last opportunities to pass him? It will be indeed this time unable to, so he will get another opportunity into Sector 2 to get past. This is the closest battle out there on the track. We have still got 7 riders or 7 competitors in this race. RDW leading it. He has checked out, so to speak. As we'll stay with RDW till the end of the laps. He's taken white flag, so this is his 27th from last lap. And he has dominated in Italy. Pole position. And Tristan and Toon, he can't make it work. He's not going to be able to there. Surely. No, he has run out of space there. RDW coming into Parabolica for the 27th from last time. The Mercedes-Benz pole position puts it in. It's 2 out of 2 for RDW. He takes the Italian Grand Prix. So the 5 seconds unserved penalty, it wasn't enough. Tristan does get him on the line because of penalties. And Jack Blum coming through for what will be driver of the day in P4. Fantastic for Jack. It's Duran who's coming through to finish in 5th place for Red Bull. Very disappointing from them. Puppy is round the Taquado, the last part of Sector 3. And of course, that's your racing team on a Wednesday night, Mono. Anything to do with that? Super Steve coming through for disappointing week for him. It has to be in Italy. He's going to be more than happy to get away from Monza, I'm sure, after 3 races. Durant given driver of the day. For me, it's going to have to go out to Jack Blum as driver of the day. So Gavlar, of course, missing this week's event. And this boy, he can't win the championship, but he is definitely going to close the points gap down. 25 more points. It is 2 out of 2 for the Mercedes team. And nice to see the McLaren duo on the podium. Christian finishing second and Toon Fan in third. So the gap surely now in the Constructors' title will be lessened dramatically down to Red Bull. You would certainly hope to as well, wouldn't you? It's a confirmation that RDW does win the Italian Grand Prix. Everyone gets penalties today, not to leave everyone out. So it's 2 out of 2 from RDW. Tristan second, a very good result from him. That will help his Constructors Drivers Championship battle. It's Toon Fan third, Jack Blum fourth, driver of the day, Durant in fifth in the only sole Red Bull, Puppy in sixth, Super Steve finishing seventh. He is the last classified finisher because Devil's Nightmare, Charlie and Japan and Puppy Jr. all did DNF. So from what you saw, Mono, who was your driver of the day? Absolutely. For me, fantastic driving with the both of them. And really, it's a shame there wasn't a full step on the podium for Jack Blum. So again, congratulations go out to the top 3 drivers. And for everyone watching, thank you very much for joining us. It's going to be Singapore next week at 8 o'clock. Join in for qualifying and the race. Of course, enjoy the Formula 1 this weekend. But from myself, Scrappy Doo, and from Mono, it's goodbye.